Trails, and guess what I'm gonna ride for my very first time? I'm gonna do a complete breakdown of this attraction, let you know what I think about it. I know, can you believe I've never been on it? But I'm doing it, and we're gonna do a secret reveal all about the Carousel of Progress. This is an amazing attraction located down here at Magic Kingdom, Florida. One thing you have to know about it, you realize this is really the only attraction down here that Walt helped plan. Yeah, because he planned this whole attraction for Disneyland, but they brought it over here to Florida. Don't worry, we'll get to it. All right, guys, let's talk about the Carousel of Progress. This is a circular building, and it rotates. As an audience, you sit down, and you'll go around to 4 different scenes in this particular attraction. Now, there are actually 6 rooms though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but you're gonna go to 4 different scenes. You have the loading scene, then you go to the 1900s, then to the 1920s, then to the 1940s, then to the year 2000, and then the exit scene. You have 6 different scenes. Originally, this ride was put in Disneyland and moved over here to Florida in 1973. But how did it get to Disneyland? Well, there's an amazing partnership formed by Walt Disney and GE. GE is a company stands for General Electric. And they approached Walt and says, hey, we want to do something for the New York World's Fair. And Walt's like, absolutely. And he pitched this idea of families going through the Progress and have different General Electric appliances and kind of highlighting that. And GE is like, I love it. When it debuted in 1964 at the New York State Fair, it was so heavily attended, they estimate over 1 million people saw it. What? People couldn't believe it. They were freaking out, like, this is amazing. They packed it up and brought it to Disneyland. Now, if you guys know where the Star Wars launch bay in Disneyland is, that round building, that used to be the Carousel Progress. It debuted in Disneyland on July 2nd, 1967, almost 6 months after Walt Disney had passed away. And GE had a partnership with them. We don't know how long that partnership would have lasted. It's assumed maybe 10 to 12 years, because back then, that's how they used to do deals for about that long, a little over a decade. It was very popular at first, but then as a while, the attendance started to dwindle, and people weren't seeing as much. GE was a little worried about that. GE is like, hey, do you want to pick it up and move it to Florida? We would love to have this thing in Florida. And Disney's like, absolutely, we can do that. So they packed it up and brought it over to Florida, where it debuted in 1973. Oh, it's rotating. See? Right now, people have an amazing experience. They're rotating along. It's a really fun attraction. I'm going to tell you this. You just spin around a circle. But a cast member did tell me a hilarious joke. When I rode it for my very first time yesterday, the cast member was like, it's your first time riding it? He's like, there's a massive drop in it. I'm like, a drop? He's like, yeah. It's about 60 or 90 seconds after the ride starts, your head's going to drop because you're going to fall asleep. By the way, I might have said New York State Fair.
The New York State Fair.
What I meant to say was the New York World's Fair. It's the World's Fair. What is the premise of the Carousel of Progress? It's pretty simple. You're going to watch a family progress through the years. When the attraction first starts, you're going to move into the first room, and it's going to say, hey, we're taking place in the 1900s, the turn of the century. But doing some amazing detective work, and you know I like detective work, the year that it takes place is actually 1904. How do I know that? Because the dad who's talks about the St. Louis World's Fair, which took place in 1904. Then you move to the next section, and it says it's taking place in the 1920s, but it doesn't say when. But again, doing more detective work, it takes place in 1927 because he talks about Charles Lindbergh flying, and he did that in 1927. Then you move into the 1940s. Now here's the thing, I don't know when the 1940s this takes place. It doesn't give me any reference points. It's a little weird though, because all the appliances and everything looks like the 1950s, but they say it's the 1940s, but it looks like the 1950s. Then you move in to the year 2000, 2000. This is awesome. Disney updated the year 2000 in 1993. And when we watch it here in 2023, it looks just like we're in right now. They have like the virtual goggles, they've got like the hand thing moving around, they've got like flat screen TVs, they got you talking to the appliances. This is all done in 1993 before any of those things were actually available. Now we're watching it, right? Yeah, we do that all the time. Literally, the Carousel of Progress. In 1985, GE decided they did not want to renew their contract here at the Carousel of Progress. Now, when you first walk in, you sit down, you see a giant medallion that says Carousel of Progress. What was originally there behind that medallion was the GE logo, GE for General Electric. They just put a big medallion over the General Electric. It's still behind it, it's there. Then they kind of, after GE left, they went through and kind of scrubbed out all references of GE, but they didn't get them all. And some of the appliances, I'll try to zoom in and show them to you or take a photo. They still have the General Electric logo on some of the appliances, which is pretty cool. Now, Floridians, that's people who live in Florida, they love this attraction, particularly during summertime, because it's about 25 minutes. And inside, it's nice and like 72 degrees, air conditioning, you feel super good. During summertime, it gets very crowded. And there's always a rumor circulating that they're gonna be taking it out. And people like freak out, but no, Disney has no plans to remove this attraction. They love this attraction. The reason that rumor persists though, after September 11th, 2001, they closed Carousel of Progress. They kept it closed for a while. They reopened it periodically, seasonally. So at that point, people are like, oh my gosh, it's going to close. But in 2003, they just kept it open. It's been open ever since. No problems at all. The only major update they really did was in 1993. They did the home in 2000, the update in 2000. So the voice that's provided of the dad is provided by Rex Allen. Then in 1993, when they did the whole redo at the end scene of the year 2000, they actually brought Rex Allen back to reprise his voice, but he didn't reprise his voice as a dad. This time they brought him back as a grandpa, which is a little weird to me. Somebody explain what's going on here, because you see the family. You've got a mom, dad, a son, and a daughter. You see them in 1904, then you see them in 1927, and they haven't aged at all. Then you see them again in the 1940s, they haven't aged at all. And then all of a sudden, bam, you're in the year 2000, and then I think the dad and the grandma there. I don't understand the last scene. I think you got the grandpa, who was the dad, then you see the mom playing the video game, that's the grandma, who I think was the mom. The girl at the desk, I think, was a daughter, and then the son that's cooking is, I think, the son, is the dad, and then you got two kids. Whose kids are those? There might be a time warp, because the daughter does age a little bit. She's like in high school, then she's in college. So in a 40-year period, she went from high school to college. The boy, though, he doesn't age at all. I mean, I don't know what's going on. This is like some kind of time warp. Woo-hoo! All right, now I'm gonna go on the attraction and show you the attraction. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And here we are walking in, guys, to the Carousel of Progress. Let's check it out. All right, so this is the very beginning.
Welcome
behind it.
to Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress.
That's the GE
Oh,
logo
you're in
behind
for a
that.
real treat. The Carousel of Progress was Walt's own idea from beginning to end. He loved it. He introduced the show at the World's Fair in New York City in 1964, and it was an immediate smash hit. Millions of people came to see it. And since then, the Carousel of Progress has had more performances than any other stage show in the history of American theater. You know, Walt loved the idea of progress, and he loved the American family. And he himself was probably as American as anyone could possibly be. He thought it would be fun to watch the American family go through the 20th century, experiencing all the new wonders as they came. And he put them together in a show called Carousel of Progress. Right around the turn of the century, believe me, things couldn't be any better than they are today. Yes, sir, buildings are towering now as high as 20 stories. Moving pictures flicker up on a big screen. We have almost 8,000 automobiles in this country, and we can travel by train from New York to California in less than 7 days. And I even hear tell about two brothers from North Carolina who are working on some kind of flying contraption. It'll never work. Closer to home, we've now got gas lamps, a telephone, and the latest design in cast iron stoves. And that reservoir keeps 5 gallons of water hot and just 3 buckets of coal. Oh, boy, it sure beats chopping wood. And isn't our new ice box a beauty? Look at that, holds 50 pounds of ice. Milk doesn't sour as quick as it used to. And our dog Rover here keeps the water in the drip pan from overflowing. It wasn't too long ago we had to carry water from a well. And thanks to progress, we've got a pump right here in the kitchen. Of course, we keep a bucket of water handy to prime it with. Yes, sir, we've got everything we need to make life easier. Say, Mother, I was reading about a fellow named Tom Edison who's working on an idea for snap-on electric lights.
Electric lights? No more kerosene, no more gas.
Sarah sure gets to the core of the apple.
But we do have this new wash day marvel. Now it takes me only 5 hours to do the wash. Imagine, it used to take 2 days.
Well, that's right, folks. Now Sarah has time for other things
Like canning and cleaning the oven.
Yes, dear.
Ovens don't just clean themselves, you know.
I know, dear. And they probably never will.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get the laundry off the line before it starts raining cats and dogs.
Don't worry, Rover. She didn't mean real dogs. Besides, it's not going to rain today. My lumbago isn't acting up.
I meant to say I told you so.
I thought I told you to ask my permission before using my new stereoscope. It's not a toy, you know.
Ooh la la. So that's little Egypt doing the hoochie coochie, eh, Dad?
Isn't she a knockout? She's the star of the new World's Fair in St. Louis, and you put that away before your mother finds it.
Aw, Dad.
You heard me.
I'm indecent.
Don't worry, Patricia. They're friends. That's our teenage daughter. She's getting ready to go to a Valentine's dance across town on one of those new horseless trolleys.
I think it's very romantic you're taking Mother out for Valentine's dinner this evening.
Well, you know what kind of sport I am.
I only hope I have an evening as romantic as yours and Mother's.
Okay, so we're now moving into the next 1927.
And when it becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me. So there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.
Phew, boy, hottest 4th of July we've had in years. We've come a long way, though, since the turn of the century, over 20-some-odd years ago. You know that pilot fella, Charles Lindbergh? He's about to fly a single-wing airplane all the way across the Atlantic. He's never going to make it. And sports stadiums are springing up all over. And boy, nobody hits that old horsehide like that new fella Babe Ruth. Jazz music as the cats meow. And there's been ads in the paper for months for a movie starring Al Jolson. And he's going to talk and sing. Oh, boy, I've got to see that. There goes Schwartz in his Upmobile. He sure loves that horn. You know, in my new Essex, I've got an electric starter. Now I don't have to crank. We can travel from New York to Los Angeles by train in only 3 days. And we've got a house full of new electrical servants. Mr. Edison sure added life to our home. Whoa there, you'll blow a fuse. Drat, that's the 3rd one this week. I buy fuses by the case. Uh-oh, and I've blown the whole neighborhood again. Sarah's Ladies Club is responsible for our town's 4th of July celebration tonight. She's got us all roped into performing in their program.
And I've decided we're going as George and Martha Washington, dear.
Oh, the father of our country. That's a role that really fits me. You know,
I'm so glad we installed an electric light fixture here on the porch because it's just too darn hot to be sewing inside.
Yes, Sarah. You know, next year I'd like to go as Benedict Arnold.
Wait until you see what I've got planned for the fireworks show tonight.
Grover, don't interrupt while Sarah's interrupting.
And guess who volunteered to choose the music for the program?
I did, Pop. Listen to this.
Oh, that's a nice tune, Jimmy. You know, with our new Crosley radio set, we can get news and big-time entertainment from all over the country, even Pittsburgh.
We're starting to arrive downtown for a spectacular 4th of July parade and fireworks event tonight. Mayor Peters.
Oh, Patricia,
Yes, Father?
better get a move on. The radio says folks are arriving downtown.
Do I really have to go? If my new boyfriend Theodore sees me in this, it'll scare him away.
Well, dear, if that happens, you'll always have that torch you can carry for him.
Oh, Father.
We're now moving into the 1940s, but it looks like the 1950s. You'll notice on the refrigerator it still says General Electric.
It's a dream come true for you and me, so there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.
Well, it's another Halloween here in the fabulous 40s. Everything is better than ever now, and we've got some amazing new wonders around the house to prove it. For instance, our refrigerator holds more food and ice cubes. And thanks to our automatic dishwasher, I don't have to dry the dishes anymore after supper. Gives Rover and me more time to enjoy our evening stroll together. Later, boy. Oh, and here's something else that's new. I just heard a new term today on the radio. Fella says, we've got something now called the rat race. Did you ever hear that one? It sure describes my life. I'm involved in something now called commuting. I drive into the city for work all day and then turn right around and drive all the way back. And the highway is crowded with fellow rats doing the same thing.
That's what they call progress, dear.
Yeah, I guess she's right. But we do have television when it works. Gives you something to do after you come home. I kind of like it, you know? Guy named John Cameron Swayze gives us all the news. And then they have all this singing and dancing. A lot of fluff, but it's fun. You know, I predict the day when millions of people will learn Latin and Greek sitting in front of their TV sets.
Are you awake, dear? Give him a left, you big lord.
Ah, yes, a new age of electronic civilization is upon us.
Hey, Dad, what do you think of my jack-o'-lantern?
Oh, boy, that's scary.
That's because I'm using my beautiful sister Patty's picture for a model.
Down, Rover. Jim, Rover appreciates your joke.
Now, you're always kidding poor Patty. She's certainly prettier than either of you.
It was all the rage in the 20s. Grandma, of course, had to have one. Didn't work then, doesn't work now. Consistent, at least. Makes a lot of noise and blows fuses.
As I was saying, Dad, I think college is really swell. You should give it a try. Oh, Patty, are you going to the Halloween party tonight? Oh, yes. And I'm hoping to lose a few more inches by then, since I'm going with that dreamboat Wilfred. Wilfred? What a slug! He's coming as the headless horseman. But it fits. Come on, Ben.
This papering is getting out of hand. I could use a little help.
Now, Sarah, didn't I set up that clever automatic paint stirring machine for you?
Yes, John, you're a genius. Of course, this will ruin my food mixer. Not that you'd care.
Oh, good old Sarah. Always the last laugh. What happened, Sarah?
Oh, you and your progress. That paint mixer of yours just sloshed paint across my rump.
All right, now we're going into the year 2000.
Advance the start. He follows his dreams with mind and heart.
And when it becomes a reality,
It's a dream come true for you and me. So there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow just a dream away.
Isn't it a pleasant holiday? Oh, turkey's in the oven, it's peaceful and quiet.
Yes! 300 points, my best score yet.
Well, it was peaceful until Santa brought that new virtual reality space pilot game.
Your turn, Grandma. Let's switch the image over to the TV so the resident flying ace can show you how it works. Now, it's a little tricky. Just use your game glove to fly behind the other guy and blast him with your laser blaster.
Laser blaster? Well, I'll give it a try.
Take a look around, Grandma. You're in the ship.
Feels like I'm really there.
Okay, get ready. You're about to blast off.
Here goes nothing. Whoa.
All right, here it comes. Oh, you missed him.
Hey, everybody. I'm done programming our new voice activation system.
Now all our household items will do anything we tell them to do.
Great. Tell the refrigerator to bring me a root beer.
Well, it can't quite do that. But I'll show you something it can do. Tree lights 30% brighter.
Oh, that's no big deal. Anybody can do that voice-activated stuff. Watch this. Roar! Speak!
John, the oven should respond to your voice commands now. Give it a try.
Oh, okay. Here goes. Temperature to 375.
Temperature increased to 375.
Look at that. It even
Reminds me of certain people I know.
Yeah, right, Dad.
You gotta lose them, Grandma. Bank to the right.
Remember Dad's turkey last year?
Yeah, that thing really smoked up the place when it burned, didn't it?
We ended up microwaving frozen pizzas.
Well, no need to worry about the turkey this year. Not with an oven that will do anything your father tells it to do.
Ooh, good shot.
Did you see that?
Dad, Grandma's up to 550 points.
Did you say 550? Hey, she's getting the hang of that thing.
550.
I can't believe all the new gadgets they've got now. You know, in my day.
Oh no, you're not going to tell us about the old days when you didn't even have a car phone.
Hey, Trish, for a while we didn't even have a house phone. Not to mention laser discs and high-def TV. Everything's automated today, including that.
No privacy at all around this place.
Sorry, Orville. Anyway, you guys don't know how good you got it nowadays.
You know, my grandpa told me the very same thing when I was a kid.
Take that, you nincompoop!
Hey, check it out, Dad. Grandma's up to 975 points.
Wow, 975.
Temperature increase to 975. Make mode overload. Command error.
John, what's wrong with the oven?
What?
Make mode complete. Enjoy your meal.
Anyone for pizza?
Oh,
As long as we're all here and happy and together for the holidays, who cares if I burned our Christmas turkey?
I do. I'm starving.
There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow is just a dream away.
And that is the end. You move on to the part of the exit now. All right, I just went and saw it again, and my mind is like going all over the place. Because here's the thing: the dad's name is John. John, very important. And he goes John 1904, John in 1927, John in 1940s, looks like the 50s. Then when you get to year 2000, the dad is cooking, no longer has a mustache, and what's his name? John. Is the dad getting younger? I think he is. I think he is. One other thing to really take a kind of a good look gander, at the end, you're gonna see the daughter's wearing, it says Progress University. Well, that was originally Walt's name for Epcot, was gonna be like this area of Progress. And the dad's wearing things says My Food Rocks. Food Rocks was an attraction at Epcot. It's all tied together. Hey, wait a minute. Did you hit that like button yet? Okay. Here's the thing, if you want to come down here and see this amazing thing, because it's only down here at Magic Kingdom where you can see the Carousel of Progress, I'll tell you the best way to do that. Click the link down below and you can get the very best tickets and prices on your hotel and tickets from Walt Disney World through Getaway Today. By the way, if you book an on-property hotel and buy your tickets through Getaway Today, they're going to give you their concierge service for free. That means they'll help you plan everything, make reservations and everything for you, which is awesome, and it's free. Also, just so you know, if you don't want to do that, if you want to just call them, you call 1-855-GETAWAY, 1-855-GETAWAY. Be sure to tell them Provost Park Pass sent you, and they'll give you the very best deal you can. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tell me what is your theory. Is this family getting older, younger, the dad? Is it different families, all named the same? What's going on? I mean, I don't know. I want to hear your theories down below. Put it down below. What is going on with this particular attraction? Have you been on it? I have been here multiple times. This is the first time I've ever been on it, and I love it. I love it. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Ba 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 ba.